Um, my name is Deng Jonagwin, also known as Roadblock, and I'll take us through triggers. So, how to create triggers and what they are used for. So, triggers are things that can easily do something when an event happens. So, like when you insert or update or even delete. So then they will have to do something after you make that action. So their importance is that they can help you to check data and they can help you to handle errors and they also help in auditing tables. So I'll take us through from here. From the SQL, I'll run some queries because here I have two tables, but first I'll emphasize on this first table, which is for employees. It has the employee ID, first name, last name, hourly pay, salary, job, hire date, and supervisor ID. And we have the list of the employees here. We have a minimum of 6 employees. So, and this is their hourly pay and their salary date. So I want to create triggers that can help us calculate salary automatically if we update the hourly pay. So here we go. So first, what I'll do, we go here and then we say create trigger. Um, then the trigger name, let's say before hourly pay update. Then the event should happen before. So say before update on which table? On the employees table. Then now we say for each row. Then we say set salary, so which is equal to hourly pay times, let's say the number of working hours in a typical year are 2080. So by 2080. But then SQL doesn't know which salary we are working on or if which salary will be updated. So let's put here set new salary, which is equal to new hourly pay. Then let's execute that. So our trigger has been created. So the easy way you can see it, you can check it like this. You can run this query show triggers. So when you run it here, then the trigger is here. So this is the trigger name, the event should be update, then the table is employees. So that is that. So now let's see our employees table. Let's say select all from employees. these are the records. Then roadblock, who is the manager, has an hourly pay of 15,000 and the salary is 31,200,000. Then attempt John gets 8,000 per hour and his salary is 16,640,000. Now let's run this query again. Let's now update the table employees to see if our trigger will work. Update employees, and then now set. We are setting the hourly pay to, let's say, then roadblock has an increment in his hourly salary. He has 15,000 before. Let's say his has been increased to 20,000 per hour. Then now we have to put a condition where employee ID equals to 1. So let's run this query. So the query has entered. Now let's see if there is an update in our employee table. Let's say select all from employees. And if we look, the salary, sorry, has been updated. So our trigger is working well. So let's see another trigger. Let's try to create another trigger. Okay, before that, let's also say let's update for all the work for all the employees. Let's say update employees and then set hourly pay to, let's say everyone has an increment of 2,000 South Sudanese pounds. Then we close it. Okay, hourly pay. It should be hourly pay plus 2,000. Yes, set hourly pay, which is equal to hourly pay plus 2,000. So the hourly pay has increment of 2,000. This time we will not have the where clause because it's for every employee in the table. So let's execute that. So as you can see, it has been done. If we look at our table here, every employee's salary has increased. So our trigger has updated the salary of every employee. So that is what the trigger does. Now let's say we have okay, let's say one employee has been fired. Okay, let me fire Mr. Deng Jok. Let's say delete from employees. And then now where employee ID equals to 6. So 6 is Mr. Deng Jok. Let me say I have fired him. And then I say go. So it has been executed. Mr. Deng Jok has been deleted. Okay. Now we want to see what happens if we create another trigger of insert. So now let's create our trigger. Create trigger mm, before before hourly pay, this time should be insert. If we insert, then now that is before, that's when the event should happen before. Insert on employees, then for each row, then now let's say we have now to set set new salary. The new salary should now equal to new hourly pay times the 20 and 80 hours in a typical year. Then we close that. Let's see how that goes about. Our trigger has been created. Now let's select all from employees. So we have now 5 employees. But then let's say we have inserted another employee. So if we insert another employee, let's say Mr. Dengjok has been rehired, then we shall say insert into employees. Then now the values, let's enter the values. The employee ID, which is 6 for Mr. Dengjok, then the first name, last name, the hourly pay, which is 2,500. Then now let's say the salary is null. Our trigger will perform the action, will fill in that part of the salary. Then the hire date, now the job name, which is the janitor. Then now the hire date, which is 2026 January the 6th. Then employee ID, which is the supervisor ID, which is 5. And then let's select all from employees now to see how our trigger is working. Boom. You can see I only inserted the hourly pay. Then our trigger has calculated the salary. So that is for when we are in. Now let's get to a situation where we have this other table expenses. So everything here, the expense total is 0. So let me at least put something in the salaries total so that we can create a trigger that will help us perform something. So let's go here, and then let's update expenses. Then let us set now the expense total. So let me run some asterisk query here. Let's say select the sum of salary from employees, then where the expense name equals to salaries. So the sum of the salary from the employees table will equal to the sum of the salaries here. So our query has gone through. Now let us select all from expenses to see if it worked out. So as you can see here, the expense total, which is for the salaries, is 75,920,000. So that is the total. Now what we need to do, we have to create a trigger now to see if we delete something from the employees table, does it affect the salaries? So let's go. Let's now create trigger. So let's name this trigger after salary update. And then after, should have put salary delete, because we want to see if we delete something, if we delete an employee, does it affect the salary? So it's delete. Then after delete on employees, and then for each row, then now we have to update expenses. Update expenses. Then now let us set expense total expense total should equal to the expense minus equal to the expense total minus the salary. But then if it is to subtract from the expense total, then it is the old salary that should be subtracted. So let's put old salary then now let's say where expense name equal to salaries. Now Let's close it. So our query has gone through. Then now let's select all. Select all from expenses. So this is the information that we have. Then now let's go here. Let's try to delete one employee to see if our trigger does something. So let's say delete from employees. Let's say Mr. Dengjok has been fired again. Then where salary, ah, sorry, where employee ID equals to 6. So we want to see if employee number 6 has been deleted. Is there an update? And here we go. As you can see, we were on 75 million before. It has reduced to 70 million and 720,000. So our trigger has worked on that. Then now let's see if we insert in an employee, will it still be updated or not? So we need to create another trigger. Then now we can go to create trigger. So we are creating another trigger. Let's say after salary insert. So that is then after insert on employees, then for each row, um, then now we have to update expenses. Update expenses, then set expense total will equal to expense total so it will equal to the expense total plus the new salary, because we are this is for the new salary we are inserting. Then now let's put a where clause, where expense name equals to salaries. So this is our trigger. Let's run this query. So it has gone through. Now let's see. Select. Let us now see. Select all from expenses. So this is our current total, which is 70,720,000 South Sudanese pounds. But then we want to see if our trigger worked. So what we have to do is let us now insert into employees. insert into employees. Now the values, mm, so this is 6. We are rehiring Mr. Dengjok. We fire and rehire, fire and rehire. So that might then now Deng as the first name, second name is Jok. The hourly pay is 2,500. Then now the salary, let's put now our our trigger will work on that. Then the job now is janitor, mm, janitor. Then the hire date is 2026 January the 6th. Then the supervisor ID is 5 as we had before. So let's insert. So we have inserted into that. Then now let us see. Select all from expenses. We want to see if our trigger worked. So you can see it has brought us back to the 75 million. Before the trigger it was 70 million and 92 920, but now it's 75 million. So that is that. Now let us create the last trigger. Create trigger after salary update, and now after update on employees. Then for each row, now let's say update expenses. Then now let us set the expense total, which will equal to the expense total plus the new salary minus the old salary, where expense name equals to salaries. So let us execute this. The trigger has been created. Now let's see what our trigger does. Let's say Mr. Dengjok got a pay rise. So let us say update employees. Then now set hourly pay should be equal to, let's say, has been added with 1,000, so it's now 3,500 per hour. Then where employee ID equals to 6. Let's close that. So now let's see if it really worked. Select all from expenses. So as you can see, the expense total has been increased. So our trigger has worked. So that is all about triggers. So triggers do something when an event happens. So that is all, and thank you for watching. We will continue from there next time.